Welcome to the Zoning Board of Appeals. I will need my glasses. Please silence cell phones and note that this meeting is being taped by FCTV. If there's any private party recording this hearing, step up to the podium, please, and request permission. I'll introduce the board and staff. To my far right is Mark Finneran, a voting member. To his left is Scott Peterson, a voting member. To my right is Frank Duffy, the clerk. My name's Suzanne Murphy, chair. To my left is James Morse, vice chair. To his left is Tony Pertucci, an associate. We have Noreen Stockman, our zoning administrator, and Ashley DeMello, our office assistant. The Zoning Board of Appeals is charged with applying the state zoning statutes as well as the town zoning bylaws in reviewing and voting on applications. All decisions are made through the public hearing process. Our goal is to hear testimony from the applicants and the public and to allow a full and fair discussion of the project prior to closing the hearing process and reaching a decision. Number one, to begin each hearing, the clerk will read the public announcement for the hearing and read pertinent information from the file. 2, the applicant or the applicant's representative will then have 15 minutes to make a presentation, but their time may be extended by a vote of the board. 3, the board will then question the applicant. 4, the public will then be invited to comment. Comment should be limited to 2 minutes and be strictly related to the proposal. All members of the public wishing to speak should wait to be recognized by the chair, come to the podium, then state your name and address for the record. Speak into the mic and it will not amplify your voice, and record audio for FCTV viewers. And before we take up any hearings, there's a time that if anyone wants to speak on anything that's not on our agenda, you're welcome to come up for a public comment. Anybody? So we'll proceed. Our first is a continuation for 06525 Habitat for Humanity. They requested a continuation.
Madam Chairman, I'll make a motion to continue hearing 06525 Habitat for Humanity of Cape Cod, Inc., 48 Benjamin Nyes Lane, North Falmouth, to February 9th at the request of the applicant.
January 29.
January 29.
Yeah.
January
29,
29th.
yeah.
Second.
I have a motion from Mr. Morse and a second from Mr. Peterson. And any discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And then before we take on the first hearing, we're going to take up number 2, an open meeting, discussion and possible vote on creation of a negotiating subcommittee to coordinate with councils on 40B. And we had town council is here for this.
Good evening, members of the ZBA,
Good
Maura
evening.
O'Keefe Town Council. How's everyone tonight?
Good.
Great. So I provided a memo on the issue of creating subcommittees, and I understand that there were some follow-up questions. So instead of writing another memo that might cause more questions, I thought I'd just come in and we can talk about it. And I'm here to answer any questions that you have, not just about the memo that I provided, but just about questions, just any questions about the proposed course of action that you have. And I'm happy to walk you through some of the concerns that I have about creating a subcommittee to address 40Bs.
Anybody want to start off with questions?
So, sure.
Go for it.
I read your memo. Thank you very much for that. Very, very helpful.
You're welcome.
I think the conclusion says everything about it. The whole idea of a negotiating subcommittee is to be prepared, is not to go off without counsel. It's not what we did with some of the others that we had these subcommittees working, but it's to be prepared and have whatever the negotiating team is in place when there's an appeal and mediation is required, or council does need us to do something, because it is, after all, the board's choice as to what we do and how we handle. At least I believe that's the case. And it needs that liaison between the board, council, and the applicant when there's an appeal. So the idea of having this, not waiting for council, whether it be special counsel or you, to call for members to become involved, is just sitting there waiting to do it. We don't have to have the votes already taken. It's a standing committee. That standing committee would then be disbanded at the will of the board when it wants to. People are replaced when they need to be replaced. But to sit and wait would not be prepared. Considering how many 40Bs we have in this town, we shouldn't be waiting. That's the way I see it. Is there any reason why we cannot have this subcommittee just in place and ready to go? It's on the shelf.
Yes, for all the reasons that I've already stated, I do not recommend it at all. The subcommittee would be subject to the open meeting law, which would undermine the entire purpose of having a liaison for counsel. If I'm understanding the purpose, the proposed purpose correctly, it would be to serve whoever the attorney is who is managing an appeal. I think there's, what you're proposing, there are some fundamental misconceptions about that relationship. When there is an appeal, the strategy is directed by an attorney, and the attorney will look for insight as to the direction that this board wants to go. And then the attorney will effectuate that. So what you're proposing is actually backwards in
Exactly.
my mind. So what I've suggested in the memo, and what I'm suggesting to you tonight, is that when an appeal is taken, the attorney, if needed, will request that this board appoint 1 or 2 members to work with the attorney. That way, the open meeting law is not implicated. And the 2 people, the 1 person, however many the board wants, will assist the attorney in strategizing and implementing that strategy for litigation.
So may I follow up on that?
Can I just finish the?
Sorry.
So if you do it the other way, the way that you're proposing to do it, 1, it's backwards as far as how litigation is managed. Litigation is managed from the attorney's standpoint down and not from the other way. I understand that what you're saying about how an appeal should encompass and memorialize the wishes of this board, and that will always happen. But the strategy has to be at the direction of the attorney.
May I just follow up on that?
I'm still not done. Let me just finish. What you're proposing is the opposite, that this board create a subcommittee, which would then be subject to the open meeting law, and every meeting that this subcommittee, litigation subcommittee, had with the attorney would have to be open and open to the public. Agendas would have to be posted, minutes would need to be taken. It's highly questionable how much of that would be covered by the attorney-client privilege because of the way that it's created. And it undermines the ability of me, my associate town counsel, and any special counsel to conduct the litigation at all. It really hurts our ability to represent you. And now
Now you're done, okay.
yes, I wanted to
No, I
give you a full
appreciate that.
answer.
I think there's a yes, I mean, I come from the corporate world. We don't wait for our attorneys to manage anything but the legal course of action. We direct, we expect our attorneys to implement, and I understand that municipal government's a little bit different than that, all right? This board is the only board by statute that has the responsibility for a 40B. Speaking just for myself, and the experience we've had for the last, what seems like 100 years, last 2.5 years, we need to be able to effectuate the outcome. Legal strategy is an attorney's responsibility. Business strategy is another business is probably, strategy is probably not the right term for it. The strategy of where we want to end up is what this board should be doing because it's the only one responsible for a 40B. There is no meeting of the subcommittee, if it were to be formed, prior to counsel, you or special town counsel saying, I need you to do this. There would be never a meeting. It's just a couple people sitting on a shelf, never communicating, never having a meeting, never having an agenda. It's just sitting there waiting to be called by you or by special counsel. So I don't see where we're creating a problem.
So I'm going to use your words, and this proposed subcommittee would never meet and never take any action unless called by the attorney to formulate. So in hearing that, I am certain that the subcommittee is not required at all unless and until an attorney requires some assistance in managing the litigation. For that reason alone, you're creating a grave concern that I have that the subcommittee will violate the open meeting law on almost every turn because of the way that it's created. I don't see why, given that I think we have the same idea about what the purpose of the group is, I don't see why you can't wait for the attorney to call for a group to be created for that
I'm worried that
litigation.
it wouldn't be. Somebody has to direct what I'm going to call the business side of a negotiation. That is not the attorney's responsibility. It is the board's responsibility to make sure the attorney understands where we want to go. When we can get to a point where there's something to talk about, that committee comes back to this board, brings them up to date, and if there's a vote to be taken at that point in time, then a vote is had. But the deliberation is had, the board may say, no, you know what, we want you to go over here with this. This is what we want. I don't see it as the attorney telling the board what it's going to do. I see the attorney saying, look, you can't go here because the law says you can't go here. That's what I see. It's just like being in corporate life. The attorney keeps you in the guardrails and then goes to court for you.
So you do understand that there's no open meeting law in corporate life, right? We can agree on that.
No, absolutely, of course I do.
Okay, so that is my concern. And the crux of my concern is who creates the committee. If the attorney calls for people to help the attorney with that litigation, then the open meeting law doesn't apply to any conversations, any meetings of that group. If we do it the way that you're proposing, then I have a fear that those conversations among the group will not be confidential, and that the strategy, the litigation strategy, and all of the things that you want the group to talk about to guide how this board wants to manage the substance of the litigation, all of that will be open to public scrutiny. It is absolutely vital during the course of litigation that conversations with an attorney remain confidential so that you don't tip your hand to the other side. With the subcommittee, I don't believe that will remain sacred.
How can we be guaranteed that if it were you or it was special town council, that this board would be included in the strategy?
You have to be. We can't make decisions without you. I mean, there are day-to-day things that certainly are we have
Going on right now.
conversations regularly with opposing counsel about administrative things, and but the decision of the particular course, like the substance of how the litigation will proceed as far as defenses or the premise behind a particular motion that's going to be filed. I would not file a motion without consulting with the client.
One last thing, and I promise I'll end. All I ask is this, if that were the way this board decided to go, is I would not want my attorney, whoever that is, coming back to this board and saying, this is what I negotiated for you, because once two attorneys come to terms, it's very hard to break that. There's all of that built-in trust between attorneys. And I would not want to have this board's attorney come back and say, here's what I negotiated for you, and then we have to turn it around and say, no, this is not what, it just costs a lot of money, time, and effort, and it makes the appeal even that much worse. And I will, if you want to respond, please do. But-
I just wonder how many attorneys have hurt you. I mean,
Oh, believe me, I've managed not to have them do that.
yeah, no,
I let it go.
I hear your mistrust, and
No, it's not mistrust. No, please. It is not mistrust. Well, let me put it this way, and I apologize for arguing with you on this, because you do know more than I know about this stuff. You truly do, and I understand that. It's mistrust, not in you, not in special counsel, but in the system, the way it operates. We are left out of it. We do not want to be left out of it. We want to direct it. And I have to leave it that way because other board members want to speak.
I will just say this. It is important, no matter what the outcome of whatever decision you're going to make here, it's important for me to hear that as your attorney. I do need to know how you want this relationship to work. I don't have sufficient communication with this board to be able to do my job properly for you, I don't think. And hearing things like this is absolutely vital, because if I understand, and if special counsel or associate counsel understands that you want this relationship and the communication to work a certain way, it can absolutely work that way. So some boards, some clients don't want us, they just want to have us to take care of the litigation and let them know at the end. Other boards, other clients want every phone call, they want to report back on every phone call, want input on every single thing that happens, and that is perfectly acceptable. If that is how this board wants to manage that, that's fine. I just don't want you to create a subcommittee for the purpose of it.
I guess one workaround, I was wondering if in fact we're going to enter into litigation, let's say on a 40B, if the gating item was that, and then your first course of business was to call and say, I would like to have this group, one person, two persons, to be enacted as your first course of action.
Yeah.
That protects everybody, that protects to make sure the board is involved as of day one. And would that be okay with you?
Done.
Okay, so I guess, is that a vote that we have to take, that the first course of action? I know, I'm just
The point is that when the attorney who's responsible for the litigation makes the request that this board appoint liaisons
Correct.
to assist in the appeal, those two people or one person are not subject to the open meeting law.
Correct.
And it gets rid of all of those problems, just as Maura has explained.
That's why, but,
And the idea of a subcommittee, that the word itself creates the problem.
right, so I'm just saying, as soon as
Yeah, I
the
think
town
that's a
gets
decent
brought
idea.
into litigation, council's first action is to call to have the assistance of the board members.
Yes.
But it takes us a lot of phone calls to
know.
get any response.
I-
That's the problem.
I'm sorry, could you explain that a little bit more? Your point, yep.
I've made many phone calls to town council and got no action.
To me,
Yes,
that I
office.
haven't responded to?
yes.
Can you give examples?
I spoke to you on a Friday afternoon to get something to me, and nothing came on Monday, nothing came on I phoned Monday, I phoned Tuesday, I phoned Wednesday, it came here at 4 o'clock or whatever it was.
It was later than that on the
Thursday.
third day, yes.
Yes.
And that wasn't sufficient
Absolutely not sufficient.
for me to draft and send you a memo.
Yeah.
That's outrageous. For you to
For
have
phone
that
calls, you
kind
think
of
it's bad?
standard for me to respond to you with a written memo. That does not happen.
You
timeline,
could have
too.
called me back and
understand
said,
that.
I'm really busy, sorry.
I think we did talk. You called every day.
Yes?
I responded to you on the first day when I wasn't at work. I was.
I didn't know that.
I know, because it didn't matter, because your phone call was incredibly important to me, and I called you on my time off. And then when I returned on Monday, it took me 3 days to do that, and I dropped everything else that I was working on to get that memo.
I didn't know that.
And I'm sorry that it wasn't quick enough for you.
I didn't know. I was waiting for them because I knew the vote. I didn't know if I have to have it on the agenda. I have to know on Monday if it's even going to be on the agenda, because I have to do the 48-hour thing to put it on the agenda. That's when I phoned on Monday, nothing. So then I
I
phoned on
did
Tuesday,
return your phone call on
nothing.
Monday, and I didn't return it the next day because I was busy writing the memo. I got it to you on Wednesday. And
Not the only example.
so I'd love to hear other examples, because I think I just gave you a great example, a great explanation for that complaint.
First off, is there any statute, law, or rule that says we can't do this? The answer is no to that, correct?
So the answer is you can do it, and there are absolute negative ramifications for doing it, and I do not recommend it.
Well, to expand on hers, the chair's point, I go back to Sandwich Road. And it was a long fight to get outside counsel. I don't think there's anybody in this room that will argue that that was the best action that this board could have taken. And it was delayed for weeks. I mean, we're in sum total, this is one of the best boards I've ever witnessed. And I think we're certainly capable of taking care and decided what our action should be. I just see no reason for this. We don't have time to sit around and wait sometimes, and maybe that's too broad or general a
I understand what she's
statement.
getting at. She's getting at that if we go and appoint it now, or if it's Scott and you, let's say it's you two, you're going to be sitting around talking about the
I don't-
case
I
all the
don't
time
belong
or
on
whatever.
that.
She says if we don't appoint the two people today, then the open meeting law is gone away. It's dust. If we do appoint two people today, the open meeting law applies
Immediately.
immediately.
Yeah.
So,
So what's wrong with that?
but I mean, we don't sit around and talk about this stuff even, I'm just worried that we're not going to find out.
Inaction bothers me.
Yeah.
It's hamstringed us on numerous
Yep.
occasions. Hurry up and wait isn't the game we should be playing.
I say we give her a
I
chance.
mean, we went through this with.
I know.
And it was a big, long fight, and it was a 4-3 vote in the end. And I think when all's said and done, everybody knows that we did exactly the right thing, and we would have been in a better position had we done it 1 month earlier. And also, I'm just going to say, and in that month, we were left high and dry.
Yep.
I'm here for a reason. And I'm not here to twiddle my thumbs, and I'm not going to spend all the time I spend unpaid doing this to be treated like a second-class citizen.
I say we give this her thing of we take no action because it's going to make her nervous or whatever it is. And
Excuse me?
it will make you nervous if we have two board members appointed.
Nervous.
You will be nervous about us talking to each other or whatever it is you're worried about. Open meeting law violations.
Open meeting law. Let me say you
Violations.
something. I've been involved in open meeting law violations in this town probably a dozen times, and I prevailed probably 10 of them, 10 out of the 12. I don't keep track, because I don't care. What happens, what's in the rearview mirror doesn't bother me. I only look forward, but I don't,
I think we
this
should
board's
just give
quite
it a
capable
chance.
of taking
I
its
do.
own actions.
I think we should give it a chance, and if we find out there's any delay, which there shouldn't be, I think she understands we're worried about delay. I don't know.
If I may, Madam Chairman.
Go for it.
Thank you. First off, I've been nothing but, I think, and I'm not going to speak for the full board, but I will say, based on comments that have come back to the board, I think everyone has been exceptionally pleased and happy with the members of the board who've been previously put on any sort of negotiation team with special counsel. And I think, though, that it's very important, and I know that some of the advocates based on the previous meeting have come from the business world, and I certainly understand. In the business world, you instruct your counsel, and a good counsel and with a private client usually will say, well, what do you want the answer to be? And then we'll craft their argument as such. I will just say, in defense of our town council. Government law is a little different. You have to say no, as I'm sure Mr. Duffy will hopefully chime in and say that you have to make unpopular decisions at times, and you have to say no. We've been given a suggested course of action. I think that, yes, I think the board can most likely manage open meeting stuff. I'm against this at this point, only for, regardless of what town council has instructed about the open meeting. I think we're putting the cart before the horse. I don't think we're going to lose enough time that if we end up making a decision, the decision is appealed, depending on how it goes to HAC or to court, at some point, I think we would have sufficient notice that, okay, there's a judge or an administrative body who wants to remand this for mediation. They understand that a board has to then take some action to either authorize a certain course of action with the attorney or to appoint people. So my suggestion with this, and again, I'm not trying to unseat our negotiating team, because I'm very happy with the members of the negotiating team to date.
Well, I think that's a given, that's our negotiating team is established, and anybody that wanted
But
to
that
change
can
it
change
would be.
with time, and that could change with the case or the circumstances, and I think it's improper for a board to delegate their decision-making authority carte blanche. It should be very carefully and soberly reflected on a case-by-case basis. And I don't think we lose enough time to do that, so.
Your example, cart before the horse, horse before the cart, horse before the cart. I mean, I think it even gets more fundamental. Does the cart need to be moved? We've lost time before, and
Have we had an adverse action taken against us because our negotiating team wasn't put together or ready to go at a moment's notice? And I think the answer is
Not yet.
May I ask
Not
a
yet.
question of town council? So, 40B is appealed. We don't hear anything other than it's been appealed. I would suggest, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I would suggest that the minute we know it's appealed, we request town council to request a negotiating team. All right, because we want to affect the outcome. We're also going to want to know that the opportunity exists to have a frank discussion with the applicant, costs the town less money in litigation, all right? And it gives us an opportunity to bring everybody together. But I would want to be assured, the minute we heard there's an appeal, that whoever counsel at the time reaches out to this board, because I don't want to be involved with any open meeting violations, for sure. I mean, Mr. Finneran's able to navigate those things better than me, but I don't want to be involved. But I have to be assured as a member that these things would happen. That's all I'm saying. The minute we hear there's an appeal, I would expect special town council or council to request the negotiating team, because that's exactly the time I want to say to council, where are you going with this? This is where we think you should be going with this, and that's the way it should go. Town council or special council has to say, no, guys, you're going too far outside the guardrails. I need to bring you in here. And I've said this in the past. You take something all the way to the edge and you look over to see what is there. And council needs to pull you back when you get too far over. And that's what I depend on my attorneys, in this case, town council, to do, is make sure we don't fall over the edge. That's all I'm saying.
It's a very simple ask and something that can absolutely be done.
Does notification of appeal go to you first or you first?
We both get it.
Both at the same
Depends.
time?
Exact same time?
I guess the question I would have here, and certainly Ms. O'Keefe can address that as well, is that if a board's decision is appealed, there is an offer for mediation, which the developer may or may not accept. And if they do not accept to proceed with mediation, having a negotiating committee is of no value.
I disagree with that. I still think it's very valuable to have a direct inroad to the board to facilitate the flow of communication. And it's very important for any attorney to have an understanding of the sense of the board, to be able to get background information that the attorney's not privy to, the history, the background. That all goes into a successful litigation strategy. And even if mediation isn't something that happens at the very beginning, it could be taken up later down the road. The hack in particular will push for mediation. I always highly recommend it. So having a negotiation team ready to go is I think, a great idea. And also just to have a couple of people to be able to tap into the knowledge base, the factual knowledge base, I think is essential.
Madam Chair. Go ahead. I just heard you say something. Having a mediation team ready to go. What you're asking is that we don't have a mediation team ready to go.
No. I think I was just countering what Noreen was saying about that there might not even need to be a team if mediation isn't taken up. Ready to go, meaning as soon as the appeal comes in, then, like you've asked, and I'm happy to do, as soon as the appeal comes in, the first course of action would be for me to reach out to Noreen to get on the next agenda so that we can set up some sort of communication team. Call it what you want: mediation team, negotiation team, communication team, couple of people to help with the litigation.
But not in advance.
Not in advance.
Because of the open meeting law.
Correct.
Versus attorney-client privilege.
Not just that, but the open meeting law implications hinge on who creates the team. So, and this is I think the conflict that was perceived by the board in my memo. The conclusion is that if the attorney says, I need a team, there's no open meeting law. If you say, we need a team, open meeting law.
Right.
And it's that simple.
What if the attorney doesn't want a team and we want to be involved?
I will say you need a team. If I hire special counsel, the first thing I will, well, first of all, it always takes me a little bit to hire special counsel. I have to make sure that counsel is available, is not conflicted out, and then I have to get a contract signed before they can do anything. That's wasting a lot of time,
Yes.
from what I'm hearing.
Yes.
What I will do instead is begin representation myself and immediately get on the next agenda to start some sort of communication strategy, request a liaison between the board and town council's office while I'm hiring special counsel, if that is called for. And then I will just tell special counsel, I've called for a mediation / negotiation / liaison team. Here they are.
Madam, may I ask a question? What I would need to know is what stands in your way, if anything at all, if it's not you being our counsel at that moment for that mediation or the appeal. A special town council has to be hired because that's additional funding. That funding has to be obtained by, I believe, the select board, or you have your own fund. I don't know how this works. So my concern would be that somebody would stand in the way of hiring special town council and in the way of this board fulfilling its obligations under the statute.
And that comes from experience.
Yes.
So what's your question?
So the question is, does anything stand in your way when you have to reach out to hire additional counsel, such as special town council? Does anybody impede your path to doing that?
So the decision to hire special counsel is based on a couple of different factors.
I'm talking about
The budget, yep, the budget, and the other factor is my assessment of the litigation. So, for example, it was an easy decision for me to make when Safe Harbor was challenged. I knew that Attorney Pucci was well experienced in this exact kind of litigation, and I know that he has had a successful relationship with this board in particular, and that was an easy ask. And it's my request that goes to the town manager to hire special counsel, knowing that it may cause an additional financial burden. And then the town manager weighs the validity of my request and my recommendation. And there was no hesitation here in that
But
instance.
I see, and I just want to bring this out so the entire board hears it. There may or may not be a flaw in the process, which is always my worry when it comes to
Yes.
government. This board has an obligation under the statute. It's the only one that can manage a 40B, the only one. Town manager can't, select board can't, planning board can't, no one can. What would this board do if someone in town government got in our way of fulfilling our obligation under the statute? How would we deal? We don't have a budget.
Can I'm assuming this is true now, I know it was true in the past, that there is money for outside counsel built into your budget. There certainly was in the past, because I'm very good friends with someone who was the chairman of this board for 10 years, and I know that was the case. If that's
think there is
not the case now, I'd be kind of surprised, and I think it's short-sighted. And I mean, this all comes from us being denied what we knew was right in the past. And we had to fight to get our outside counsel. And, you know, maybe we're just naming this thing wrong. I don't know.
Again, if the litigation starts, the triggering event is you get us on board with you, or you get us on board with outside counsel.
Whatever's fastest.
And that's your first move?
Yes.
I'm
good
personally
with that.
okay with
I'm
that.
good with that, too.
I'm good with that.
And the special counsel money is in the town council's budget, it's not in the board's budget.
Well, it's there.
I don't think so.
We don't have a budget.
We have no budget.
Well, there's money set aside for outside counsel.
Yeah,
That's
and
my
it's in the-
statement,
it's in
okay?
the town
That is
council's
correct.
budget.
All right, whether it's in her budget or
It's
not,
not
it is there.
But one thing
It's-
you have
It's
to-
always been there.
It's at my
Always been.
discretion,
Yeah,
though.
okay,
always been
that's
there.
all I said. I don't know the intricacies of it.
But,
It's not my job.
but it's
I mean,
not our-
I might cut a little sharp
No, no,
sometimes,
no, no,
but
but
so
it's-
does Occam's razor.
No,
'Cause the
but-
simplest
Listen, it's
way
not,
is always the best.
but it's not our decision. That's where the problem lies. We have no say, none.
That's not true.
Say, last time we had to vote for it.
We had to
fight for it.
fight,
It was a
right.
So that's not true. That's not what happened last time. What happened is a vote
I
was
wasn't
taken
there.
without my input at all, and that can't happen. This board cannot vote to hire special counsel. You don't have the ability to do that. I'm happy to take requests or recommendations for that to happen. I don't want to hang this board out to dry, and I want to make sure that you're represented properly. Sometimes that will mean that I represent you. Other times it will mean that I know and I recognize that I'm not the person to do that. That decision is mine. So the delay the last time this came up was because the process wasn't followed. We had to deal with the fact that a vote of this board took place without my knowledge and without my input, and it was done improperly. And once we righted that ship and I was able to weigh in and recognize that outside counsel was needed, then I took care of that. And it did take time because the process wasn't followed properly. So I'd like to put that in the past. I'm disappointed that it's coming up yet again. I think
We can't
that
forget.
I can't forget that this board tried to
You left it
take my
high and
job
dry
away
for a
from
month
me.
and a half.
That's
We don't
unfortunate.
need to talk about this.
Okay, I think we're all set on this. We've
Yeah.
pretty much agreed with just tabling this, right?
Well,
There shall be no vote.
I think we just leave it on the agenda and bring it
Right.
up if we have to at some
Right.
point.
but as long as we're all
No
in
vote
agreement.
tonight on this,
No vote
correct?
tonight.
The council has agreed to notify the board as soon as.
ASAP.
And,
That's got to be in the minutes.
All right?
Okay.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
All right, moving along. Next, we have a new hearing, 08425 Broken Bow Residences.
Okay, I will read the public notice of hearing. This is application 084 of the year 2025. Broken Bow Residences LLC has applied to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a comprehensive permit pursuant to Chapter 40B to construct 12 home ownership units within 6 duplex units, 3 of the units to be affordable. The property is located at 0, also known as Lot 001A, Broken Bow Lane, East Falmouth, Massachusetts. Before I read the relevant facts, I'm going to make a motion. I make the following motion on behalf of the Zoning Board of Appeals. I move that the Falmouth Zoning Board of Appeals has the grounds to declare that a denial or approval with conditions of the application is consistent with local needs as defined by General Laws, Chapter 40B, Sections 20 to 23, and 760 CMR, that's Code of Massachusetts Regulations, 56.031A and 3A, because the town's subsidized housing inventory exceeds 10%, and further, under 760 CMR 56.031B and 4, for municipal compliance with its approved housing production plan, and to provide the requisite 15 days written notice following tonight's hearing to the applicant and to the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities.
Second the motion.
We have a motion by Frank, second by Jim. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, none.
So relevant information here, we have this property at 0 Broken Bow Lane, East Falmouth, owned by Broken Bow. The applicant is Broken Bow Residences LLC. They're a limited dividend organization. They have applied for a comprehensive permit pursuant to General Laws, Chapter 40B, Sections 20 through 23.
I have a question to interrupt, excuse me. It's Broken Bow LLC. Do we know the names? In case there's a conflict with anybody up here?
Broken Bow Residences LLC.
The members of the LLC.
Members.
William and Karen Curley.
Excuse me?
William and Karen Curley.
Karen Curley. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry.
All right, so where was I? Oh, they've applied for a comprehensive permit under General Laws, Chapter 40B, Sections 20 to 23, and 760 Code of Massachusetts Regulations 56.00. The property is a split. Part of it is in a general residence district, and part of it is in an AGB, Agricultural B district. It's in the Great Pond Overlay District. There's no flood zone necessary, identified. The lot is 69,544 square feet, of which 10,252 square feet are general residence, and 59,292 square feet are AGB. We have a Massachusetts Housing Finance Agency site approval dated September 16, 2024, which was originally filed with respect to a previous application from this applicant, but the MHFA determined that a new site approval letter was not necessary. There are 12 units of home ownership, 9 market, 3 affordable at the 80% of AMIs. There'll be 6 duplex buildings. Street frontage is identified at 317.55 feet. 100 is required. Broken Bow Lane is a private right-of-way at this particular neighborhood. There's vacant land, so there's no buildings affected and no noted nonconformities. We have some referrals. We have engineering. They have advised us that they want us to pay attention to stormwater, erosion control. They also advise us that there'll be no municipal trash or recycling, that there'll be no municipal snowplow. They recommend a sidewalk, and they also note that Broken Bow Lane is in disrepair. The Conservation Commission had no comment. The Water Department advises us that town water is available. The Housing Coordinator reports that she noted that there are no handicap units in the proposal, and also the town's priority is rental units. The Affordable Housing Committee has a letter in support, but some questions which we will ask the applicant to address during his presentation. The Wastewater Department has advised us that the sewer will be available in the fall of 2027. Also, that a flow-neutral variance will be necessary, and that it will be our responsibility to address that issue. The planning board has also sent us a referral. They note that the sewer will be low pressure, so that means grinder pumps will be required. So they asked the question, who will be responsible for maintaining and paying for the grinder pump maintenance? They've also commented that they're not really pleased with the design of the buildings. They have issues about a playground, sidewalks to Route 28, storage sheds are recommended, and fencing for detention basin.
More units, too. They asked for more units, too?
All right, more units, too.
More affordable.
Yes, affordable units.
More units.
Yes, sorry, yes. Nick, can I ask a quick question before you proceed? Is the plan that's dated September 12, 24 the one we're supposed to use for this project?
No, I believe it's the 11/20 dated one.
It's this one here?
I'm sorry, September 12th, yeah.
September 2024? Right?
Yes, that's the one I've got up on the screen.
So the plan itself has not changed at all, other than the ownership aspect,
Not since that,
correct?
the ownership-
Nothing has changed on the September 12, 2024 plan except for ownership?
No. The same owners that we submitted under.
No, they're not going to be rentals, now they're going to be ownership.
Oh, correct.
That's the only difference.
Well,
All the
there
calcs-
was more units when it was rentals.
Right. So the plan is a little bit different then?
The plan is a little bit different,
Okay.
but this is the plan we're submitting at this time to show the layout, the
Okay.
drainage, the water, sewer connections.
Okay. I just wanted to check. Go ahead, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
All right, I'm Nick Marioni, representing the applicant, Broken Bow Residences LLC. And as I go forward, I just want to be on the record saying I disagree with the fact that you're claiming to be in safe harbor. I'm proceeding in that assumption.
Wait a minute.
What?
Is that,
He's on record saying that, but if he doesn't appeal, it's up to him, not us.
He is proceeding as if we're in safe harbor. That's what you just said. Yes.
So this project is located at this bend in the road at Broken Bow Lane. It's 1.6 acres approximately. It's got fairly level topography with about 10-foot grade change within the site, except in the detention area on the back of the project, which where all the drainage is going to go to. We're proposing 12 three-bedroom units, each with 2 bathrooms, approximately 1,323 square feet each, and they all have full basements with direct access from the inside. The building height will be 23'6". We require 2 parking spaces per unit. 24 total spaces, we're providing 32, and 8 of those 32 will be handicapped. I'm sorry, three of the 32 will be handicapped, and 8 additional spaces, 3 will be handicapped. The project serves by town water, town sewer, with no intention to start construction until the sewer is available. The underground electric. We're adding a hydrant to the project right here in this location, the middle of the site. There's presently a hydrant at this spot that we're moving to the other side of this driveway. We're picking up the drainage problem that's in Broken Bow Lane at this curve and tying it into our drainage system so it ends up down in our detention pond and it drains where it's supposed to go, where it should be going now, but it's not, it's puddling. I think that outlines the project pretty well. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Just wanted to confirm that I heard it correctly. You will not start any portion of the project until the sewer is available. Is that correct?
That's the intent, yes. And that doesn't mean we're going to clear the site or get the site prepped, but we won't pull building permits or do any work on the houses until sewer's installed and we can connect to it. It wouldn't do us any good. I don't think we can get a permit till sewer's available.
Agreed. Okay. Thank you.
Go ahead, Mark.
Start down there.
Yeah.
I think you said to start down this end.
Oh, you
Unless-
said
unless I
start,
misspoke.
I thought he said, should I start down there? You want to start?
At this point, Madam Chair, at this point in time, I don't have a lot of questions. I would prefer to ask my questions at a later date at the continuance of this.
Okay.
So I may have to come back once I hear a few other comments and may want to interject at that point, if I might.
Call us bookends.
Jim, do you have anything?
Broad strokes, a few. Mr. Marioni, why was there a decision made to change from rental properties? Obviously, rental properties, from this board's perspective, are preferable to ownership. All 12 would have gone under the subsidized housing inventory. This way, we only get 3.
Well, when we had the first rental project, it was 16 units. When we decided to go the LIP process, we had to increase the number to 20 to make the numbers work. And they didn't like the building designs, the Motel 6, whatever you call it there.
I think we called it the base, actually.
So what we had to do was shrink the size of the project back down to 12 units. It doesn't work as a rental for 12 units. We went to home ownership.
Thank you. You indicated you're going to put a fire hydrant in. I understand plans change. Generally, where do you plan to locate that hydrant? And if you know, do you know approximately where the next closest hydrant is? We have not had a fire department referral, and I'm going to make sure we get
So
one.
the hydrant we're adding is right here in this location. And the one that's existing is presently on this side of the driveway. We're relocating it to this side of the driveway.
What are you planning to put in utility-wise? A 5-inch water main, 12-inch, how,
Probably a 6.
6? Utility pole is going to be buried or above
Underground,
ground?
yeah. The riser pole is already here, it's right in this location. We'll start with the transformer and a bolt right here and go underground from here.
Obviously, we've had a lot of referrals from engineering. I think the board will most likely expect answers to those at the next meeting. And I would, again, thank you, Madam Chairman. I'll reserve additional questions after hearing from abutters as well as responses to engineering. Thank you.
I have a few
Thank
for you,
Mr.
Nick. I want you to come back, when you come back, with an answer on the grinder pumps, on who's paying for upkeep and everything, of the affordable housing units.
No, well, the grinder pumps will be installed by the owner when we're building the project and sold to the residents. with the
And then they're in charge of it forever.
Right,
you
well,
wash your hands.
They may owe the sewer fee going forward.
Well, Amy indicated they're going to need pumps no matter what, even with sewer.
We would have to, every unit will have to have a grinder pump because it's low pressure.
So the affordable people are not getting any, they're paying for a grinder pump. Upkeep.
It's included in the sale price. They will have to pay for the annual maintenance of
Right.
their sewer.
Okay,
There's no annual maintenance.
okay.
You got to pay double your water bill, though.
And then, did you read the planning board's referral?
I did, yeah.
Can you answer some of those when you come back to? The sidewalk to
I can answer
T-ticket?
some now if you want, I mean, Scott Sluters was basically weighing on peer review, so I thought.
It was
if
what?
you got a
It was
Scott
peer review, yeah.
Much of it was,
we
you
are
know,
too.
peer review should address it, so I just assumed it was gonna go out to peer review and we'd deal with it there.
Okay, so you don't want me to deal with any
I'd be
planning?
happy to answer your questions.
I want you to show on the next plan that you'll bring snow removal. I don't know where that's going.
No storage, yeah.
Yeah, storage, definitely. You need to show where the sheds are going to go. I'd like to know more about the sidewalk to 28. I thought that was really important when the planning board brought that up. And the design, they had an issue with design also. They still look like they're over at the base.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch what you said.
The design, the planning board also had an issue with, and I said, they're correct. It does look like it's still on the base. Those are just a few I had. I just want you to go through the referrals and when you come back to answer to them. And not just, I'll try kind of answer. Like something, concrete would be good. That's about all I have for now. Frank, do you have anything?
Well, this is just kind of a general question, but the last time you were here on this project where it was for the rentals, we heard from people in the neighborhood saying that this particular parcel actually accumulates water and there's water pooling on it from time to time. Now, I wonder, we never did get an answer because you didn't go far enough.
Yeah, you did. You got an answer to it.
Well, what is it?
We've had a consultant go out there twice to tell you there's no wetlands on the
That was a
site.
wetland answer. It wasn't to
We're
do with
talking about
with the water
collecting and
pooling.
Of course, there's water running onto the site, it's the low point, but we've got that all captured in our drainage.
All right. You'll be able to talk about that in detail when we go into it.
Yeah, and
Peer
your peer
review.
review guy will tell you whether the drainage works or not.
All right, okay.
Nothing specific this evening. I think looking at the plans and the multitude of the engineering questions and things like that, we got to get the peer to weigh in, and then that way we can have some additional guidance, but
Gotta have something for them to weigh.
true. Other than that, I'm okay.
I mean, this is, you know, almost pointless at the moment, so I'll save my, for
Next round?
next round.
Okay.
Everybody all set up here? How about the public? Do you guys want to come up and ask a few questions? Come on up. Or statements? Thanks for being patient with us tonight.
It's okay. Hi, my name is Walter Burek. I live at 45 Homestead Lane. I am on the other side of zero on this project. My property abuts this, it's next to this project that he's trying to put in. To give you a little bit of background, coming from East Falmouth on T-Ticket Highway, past Shorewood, the road goes downhill, and my wife and I turn off at first, jeepers. Okay, we turn off and take a right and go down Brick Hill Road, take a left on Homestead Lane. So that land or the road is pretty flat. There's some up and downs. Now, on the other side, on this land that he's projecting to put in there, T-Ticket Highway has a lot of ups and downs. So as you go down past Falmouth Lumber, Aubuchon Hardware, the next thing is there's a great big hill. And as you go up the hill, on the right-hand side is the entrance to Broken Bow Lane. Now, the problem is, Broken Bow Lane, if you look at the difference between the height or the elevation between T-Ticket Highway and Homestead Lane, let me see if I can just kind of illustrate this with my funky cardboard. Okay. T-Ticket Highway, Homestead Lane. So this land is actually on a slant where this water runs off and ends up in this, I'll call it a trough for now.
Swale
Yeah,
is what it's called.
it's pretty much is, yeah.
So the water coming off the highway is it's not, it just kind of runs down very slow because it all gets absorbed in the soil, trees, leaves, and so forth. With this project, what I see now is you're going to have all these buildings in there. The water is going to be freely running down the hill. There's not going to be anything to stop it. The blacktop will let the water run. All of the houses that are going in there, they all have roofs and they have
Gutters and downspouts.
water downspouts, and every one of them are going to be shedding water, adding water to this open water coming down this property. So now what I'm worried about is where is this water, what's gonna happen to this water that's running freely down with nothing to stop it? And all these houses with the downspouts running water downhill, it's gonna, I think it's gonna cause the water to run even faster in this drainage. I don't know what's gonna happen. Thing that I'm not gonna be happy with is this great big building, two-story building, about, I would say, 11 feet, 24, 2.5 feet tall. I'm gonna have to look at this building, because it's gonna be right in front of my, right in back of my property. I did bring some pictures, and I hope they work. Now, with all this water running down, and in the summertime, we're going to have this great big building, and it's going to have this water drainage coming down. It's going to be like a water tower, and that water is really going to be coming down. This building, I'm sure, is going to have air conditioning. That air conditioning in the summertime is going to work all of the time, day and night. Somebody help me with this, right?
Thank you, Nick.
Excuse us. Okay, how do I manipulate this thing now? This will fix that. Is this it here? Okay, that's good, yeah. All right, that's great. No, that's not it? I wish I was there.
That's a lot of water.
Broken Woods Hole, that's,
No, that's not mine either.
That's another nice one.
It's down, well, it's on that drive. Oh, here we
Bottom one.
Click on, double click on
go. Okay.
Double click
Yeah,
there.
Yeah,
there he
I
goes,
did.
he's got it.
Oh, wrong picture. Okay, let me see where these images are. Okay, they're down here in the bottom. Yeah, okay. Okay, this one down here, number one. It's down at the bottom, where all those lines are.
Not that one?
No, it's the first one that has all the lines on it.
What happened to it?
I think I hit it. Okay, yeah, number one is up here somewhere. No, that's not either. It says number one on it. Sorry to take up your time.
Do you have the pictures, the hard copies?
I don't have any hard copies. These are all on my,
Just work your way right up the list, Nick.
Yeah, tell me when you put them at the right one.
it's going the wrong way. Is there a big envelope, a big folder there?
All right.
Oh, well, that was close. Oh, no, no, that's close. Go back to the
Keep
the
going
driveway.
down until you look
Go
at them
back
all.
to the driveway,
Just one, the first one,
yeah,
this one here.
yeah. Okay, well, my house it's not quite what I wanted to show you. The front of my house is approximately 8-foot fence times 3 is 24. That's just to the property line, and then there's another 8 feet to the street. So what I have is the house is approximately 32 feet from the road. Now, coming down the driveway is another 30, 40 feet because of the house. Now, I'm going to show you that picture. No, there's no. Yeah, I want to go to another picture.
I were the fifth one down, Nick.
It's not that quite far down, it's pretty close.
That one?
I'll try that one.
That one.
I can't see the pictures. Okay, that's good. So what you see here now, on that slope of 62 feet downhill, my house is actually 11 feet below Homestead Lane. And this property abuts his property. I have one more picture to show. Oh, okay, hold on. This is the garage. There's a window, which is the laundry room, and there's a door there, which is the entrance to the basement. We have built a bedroom in there for my son. It's wall-to-wall carpeting. And if the water should back up and end up on this property, everything in there is going to be flooded.
Just so you get a picture, the front of his house is out on Homestead, the back of this goes downhill to our property,
Right,
so it's not coming up on his.
okay. Get the next one. I appreciate
Which one you want, right here?
Just, yeah, next one down. One more down.
Or like the fifth one, we haven't seen that yet.
Walter, you better check his consulting fees over
Okay, yeah, I
here.
know it. Okay. All right,
He's not cheap.
I know it. That's good, that's close enough. So down here at the clothesline, we're going to look at, behind it, it's about 3 or 4 yards, where his big housing development is going to be, the big 2-story building. It's going to be, what I'm going to look at now is, looking at this building, I won't see any more sun coming in. My house faces west, and this is on the east side where his big housing project is going to be. That's my shed. There is a big tree there also, and what will happen is, taking this tree out, can we do one more picture? I wish I could manipulate this thing, but I can't.
You gotta love teamwork.
Just went down low,
That one?
yeah. That's a little closer, same idea.
Yeah.
Go down one more. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Down at the bottom is that tree, and my shed is also there. You can see the marker. That is ground zero, I guess you would call it. If this tree is taken out, all this land is going to run into the, it's going to go away. My shed is going to end up in this hole, so to speak. And of course, the roots are just going to be gone too. So anyway, that takes care of all of this property. There is, as this goes up to Broken Bow Lane, there's water running there already, and it's coming down from Broken Bow Lane, and it is ending up in his property right at this time. So I don't know what we can do about this. Like I say, with a great big building, in the wintertime, the windows are closed. In the summertime, we like to open up the windows and have a cross breeze. But with this big building there, we're going to have problems with the air conditioning. That air conditioning is going to be running day and night. We are not going to be able to open up the back windows. As a matter of fact, we have that property back there with the picnic table. We like to sit out there in the sun. We're not going to be able to do all that with that overshadow of the building and the motors from the air conditioning are going to be running, like I say, day and night. And we won't be able to open the windows over there. So to conclude this whole presentation. This building is going to be constructed on a slope, water runoff, watershed property. It is loose. The soil is very soft because of all the water running down. And it just kind of glides down with the rain and the snow and off the T-Ticket Highway. But when you take all of that into consideration, and with all of the blacktop, all of the buildings with no obstruction of this water, it's just going to run right down. And you can see that in any one of the streets. To get an idea on this all going to look like is, if you go over to Job Lot and you see that water runoff, it's kind of it's all bricked in, it's all on a slant. And that's what this is going to look like, with all of that water running down in these buildings. So I hope I've done my job here, and I hope you turn this project down, because it's really going to be an annoyance to the neighborhood with all of these motors running. The other thing that I understand that there's going to be a pump, a water pump, at the bottom of the hill to take the water away.
It's all gravity.
All gravity, okay. So where is this water going to go once it starts to collect at the bottom or the basin of this hill?
Well-
If it collects and it really, really rains, we're going to get flooded, and we're going to have to pay.
3 engineers are going to look at that and determine if what they're providing
Yeah.
is sufficient to alleviate any of your concerns.
I saw something about a pump being.
That's for the sewer.
Oh, that's what it
They're
is.
sewer pumps, you've seen them.
I was going to say, if that pump fails, we're going to get flooded.
All the water and the runoff has to be dealt with underground, and their engineer, the town engineers, and we're going to have a peer engineer, and they're all going to examine all this stuff and make sure that you have no concerns.
Yeah, okay.
And 3 engineers is better than 1.
So in the wintertime, when the snow melts, we're not going to have any sun to absorb or dry up this blacktop. We're not going to have any houses. It's not brick, it's, I'm lost for words. Cinder block. A cinder block is porous, and with all of that water and dampness, it's got to do something with those blocks, cinder blocks, disintegrate them, disintegrate the blacktop. So now what are we going to do? The house is going to be pretty worthless if we get any water on that property and it stays there. That's my other concern. Yes, you may have all this done with the engineers, but on my side of on my side of the line, I'm concerned about the water being on my driveway, on the blacktop in the back of the house, and I'm concerned about the, the cinder block. It's being.
Your foundation?
Yes, it's all porous. What's going to happen if the water stays there and?
Well, in theory, there's going to be less water,
Yeah.
because you're familiar with over on Broken Bow on the corner, how that puddle is already there?
Yes.
It's always there. That puddle is going to be eliminated, and they're required to put any water that they produce or any water that falls on their property has to be dealt with underground. And as I say, there's going to be 3 engineers that look at it.
Okay, I hope so.
I mean, we certainly consider you. I mean, we won't forget you or your slideshow. I mean,
No, I know.
it's all part of our concern.
All right, like I say, I'm more worried about the sun being there. I don't want to be in the shade
Well,
year-round.
he's more than 10 feet off the property line, so there's nothing we can do about that. You'll get more sun with the tree gone, though.
I'd rather deal with the trees in a 2.5-story building. And 8 rooms wide, so it's going to look like that building on Robbins Road, that hotel, by the time they get done building it. And like I say, again, with the noise from all of the air conditionings on the roof, they're going to run day
Okay.
and night in the summertime.
Let's wrap it up, please, sir. We'll take it all into consideration.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And keep showing up.
Oh, I'm going to.
Yep. Anybody else? Come on up.
I agree with them. 100%, yeah. Because I moved into my house, I live at 57 Broken Bow Lane.
And you introduce yourself, so
Name and address,
name and
please.
address, so everybody knows.
Diana Manning, and I live at 57 Broken Bow Lane. And I can tell you from the time when I first moved in there, how, things have changed so much over the years. The neighborhood was pretty quiet when I first moved in there, when there was a lot of pasture land behind my house, and
Then Walter moved in and
well, anyway, to talk about just the water, I was thinking, what can I talk about? There's so many things, like the fact that it's 12 units, it changes the whole makeup of the neighborhood. It's a quaint little neighborhood. I really don't want 12 units in there. I mean, if you put like 2 houses in there, fine. But 12 units in an apartment building, come on. They're already doing that in a couple other places in Falmouth. And I just think on the road that I live on, I want to keep it as it is. We already have 10 new houses that have been put in the last couple of years down the road. And, the Clipper Ship apartments have been put in a few years ago. So it's really changed the whole makeup of our neighborhood. And talk about noise. Oh, my God. The noise at night from Clipper Ship apartments. I put in cypress trees. I have a living fence all the way around my yard, just so it buffers that noise. So can you imagine having, a 12-unit, an additional 12-unit apartment building put in at Broken Bow Lane? I don't think it's right for the neighborhood. I don't think it's fair for us. But I do want to talk about the water. And the water is, when I first moved in, you'd get a puddle down there, where, that corner there. You'd get it, yeah. But it would go away. You'd never get it was no longer a puddle. Now it's like a pond. When it rains, I mean, there's
On the
no
corner?
place. What's that?
on the corner where it
Yeah,
turns.
yeah, it's terrible.
Well, that's on his property, so he's got to deal with it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that.
He's looking forward to it.
What? Well, it's just that, where's the water going to go?
In the ground.
Yeah, I mean, but I still think, I lost a car there 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I had a.
It'll turn back up when they dig it.
I had a beautiful car, brand new, and I went through that puddle, and it, within a few weeks, all the electronics had died. So, but anyway, I think that, I just think it will change the whole makeup of the neighborhood, and not in a positive way. I really want to keep my neighborhood the way it is, a nice, quaint neighborhood. We have the additional 10 houses down the road now, and Clipper Ship apartments behind us, and there's a noise level too. So enough already. We don't need any more. Put a couple of houses in there. I'm happy with that. But I don't need an apartment building. Anyway, so that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Anybody else? Name and address, please.
Yeah, my name is Paul Young, Homestead Lane. A couple meetings ago, I enlightened you that this property is connected to the ocean. You can have all the engineers you want right now go there, they're gonna say it's fine. Have them go there when a hurricane and it floods up. I just wanna know, you guys gonna be liable if you give them a permit?
No.
Because twice, Sandy and Bob, that place flooded. And I've been there since 1960. I used to play in that area, as a kid.
Oh, from the storm surge?
From the storm surge. And everybody say climate change is getting worse. So, I'm just enlighten you to what's going to happen.
The applicant's going to fix it all for us, he says.
Yeah, I know. Put a big wall up.
Oh, don't do that. I really have to change.
Hi.
Hi.
Ann Parks, 359 Locust Field Road. And I'm representing my daughter who had to work at the hospital tonight, so I said I would go in her place. And she's a direct abutter. She's right there by that pool. They haven't swum in it yet, but
Who is your daughter?
Lindsay Parks. Yeah, she's right there. Anyway, two of the concerns she had is, number one, there's the police station that's going to be going into that area. How does that affect the traffic? And has there been a traffic study on this?
There will be.
I would hope so, because, I mean, there are already 27 houses, and you figure 2 cars, maybe 54 cars, plus there's a safe house at the end there that has probably 10 guys living there. So there's quite a bit of traffic already in that area, and so I'm wondering, she wanted to know about that. Then the other thing is, if she read it correctly, some of the rentals, not the affordable ones, would cost around $700,000 for a 2-bedroom condo. And that just seems exorbitant for the area with the crowdedness and so forth. And what happens if somebody doesn't want to buy them? They don't like that idea. Maybe they would. I don't know enough about the real estate market, nor does she. But what happens if the $700,000 condo is not purchased? Can it be turned into a rental?
Don't know.
So, yeah. Okay, well, those were thoughts she had, and
Okay.
she asked me to come and express them, and particularly the traffic. That's something that's very concerning,
That's a
because I
good
guess
question.
the
I forgot
egress
about
for the
the police
police
station.
station is supposed to be just a couple
Yeah.
of down, so it's pretty
Yeah,
close.
they were there surveying today,
Oh, were they?
where it's the old entrance to the drive-in. But I think their plan is to use Brick Hill Road
Yeah.
more often,
Right.
Okay,
because it's just easier and more convenient.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the police, you can pretty much count on them to do the right thing,
true,
traffic-wise and whatever.
true. Okay, well,
I think they're the least of our worries.
yeah, I just don't want to see a
And
whole
if
bunch.
you have to call them, they'll be there all the quicker.
I just don't want to see the traffic become so insurmountable for people to
already
not be
there.
able to.
It is
It's already
already there.
there in the summer.
Well, yeah, it is. You're right there, but, so, anyway, okay, well, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anybody else? Come on up.
Richard Castleberry, number 41 Broken Bow Lane. I'm also concerned about all the transportation and traffic that's going to be rendered between 0 and number 29. That's already a fiasco. If anybody's keeping parking in there and they're running these big old trucks through there, you got huge holes there that the trucks have already damaged everything. These people consistently want to park on that, next to that 29, the big house there. I mean, it's ridiculous. And everybody else, if they park there, everybody else has got to go in those holes. And those holes are ridiculous. This is a private road. This is not a regular 2-lane road. Anybody comes in there and they meet a truck, they go off the road. And they got a little level about 3 or 4 inches on each side of that, where they go into it, and then each time they do that, they're going to make the ruts deeper. And we get 12 more cars. It could be a lot more than 12. This is total 12 units, 2 cars per unit. That's 24 that are going to back up trying to get onto the highway out there. I don't think so. That's not going to work at all. And this is in conjunction with the houses that they were talking about they built down there. Most of those are summer people. And when they come in, they have a lot more than 2 cars. So this is becoming a real big problem, the traffic on that. And they drive up and down the road, Brown, FedEx, and these rental vehicles. They go down there, they don't care about 15, 20 miles an hour, children or anything. They're wanting to get their time done. and it's ridiculous. The traffic has not been addressed with this whole situation. And I'm really concerned about it myself, because I've sat there and I see those cars go up and down that road. And you know what a bear it is to get out of the left from Broken Bow Lane with the light traffic? You sometimes have 20 cars going through there. So you can imagine if you get another 12 cars or 24 cars up there, you're going to be sitting there forever trying to get out. A lot of these people are working, too. They have to be where they're supposed to be at a certain time.
Well, they better take right-hand turns, or they're not going to get there.
But yeah, who wants to go right every time they come out of there, though? You know how long it takes to get there, for example, to go over to St. Anthony's? Long time.
Can't get there from here.
I think the traffic's...
You have to go right if you don't go left, right? So, that's my main concern.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else like to speak on this project?
John Butler from Homestead Lane also. I'm trying to understand what was said earlier. There's going to be a sewer line put in by the town. Has it already been approved or funded for?
It's on its way.
It's what?
It's on its way. It's for all T-ticket path.
Okay, and where is that going to be going? 28 or?
Down the highway.
Yeah, down the highway.
Yeah.
Down the highway.
Yeah, it's the next phase of the sewer.
Okay.
It's going to do Perch Pond, basically, and then around T-ticket path and that area, because you know how bad it is there.
Well, I live there. I do.
Smells good this summer, doesn't it?
Now I got get back in line here. They were talking a short time ago about closing the school in T-ticket. These buildings, are going to be 3-bedroom or 2-bedroom?
Three. All threes.
3-bedroom, that means there's going to be more children
Kids.
in that area.
Yep.
The population density in that area is unbelievable. They're going to put the police station there, and they're also going to put more apartments across the street on Brick Hill, from where the police station entrance will probably be. And the lights, there's 8 bazillion accidents at those lights all the time. Is this an HOA type situation?
Condo. Condo association, is that?
Yes.
It is, okay. So they're going to be responsible for their own entity?
I hope so.
Okay. Is this HOA part of the ownership of that whole stretch of new homes and stuff? Because it looks like they're ready to break through the back end of Broken Bow onto Brick Hill Road. I drove down there the other day, and I mean, it's cleared out, like there's going to be something else going at the other end of Broken Bow.
Not that I know of, no.
We're aware of.
Homestead was a one-way street originally.
Right.
They broke through to Brick Hill, and now Homestead is the expressway in town.
But it is. I haven't heard anything about anything going down there. No. Don't know. Have you heard anything?
No, but Broken Bow is a public right-of-way and not private, so.
It's not serviced by the city.
Engineers said private.
Engineer said private.
Engineers said private.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Our map showed it as public.
I wrote private. It says it right in engineering.
Well, we definitely need an answer on that.
Yeah,
The town map shows it as public.
and the engineering referral says private, yeah.
He said no snowplow or public trash, so
Nobody
that's-
says that no matter what.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, if it's public, that puts a burden on the drainage on someone else.
yes.
Yeah.
The area that's closest to the highway, where the highway comes down into that area where that road is, there is a large depression there that has always been
Yeah.
full of water.
Always full.
Yeah.
Yep,
Always full.
yep. Doesn't even have to rain. It's already
Does not.
there.
And it used to be a dump, basically, for a lot of the buildings around there.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the traffic myself, actually. I am.
I'll leave it with that.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Anybody else? Do you guys have any further?
Somebody else?
Good evening, attorney.
Hello, good evening. How are you, Madam Chair? For the record, Brian Tobin, 116 Broken Bow Lane. You'll have to forgive me because I did not see any packet materials available online for this submission. Were they or were they not? Is that okay if I ask that question?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see them, so I'm going to ask some things of this board if they were in the packet, which I haven't looked at yet. Kindly disregard it. If they weren't, though, I'd like this board to ask the applicant to put them in the packet. The first is a title search of that area, including up and down Broken Bow Lane. The reason is because that area is structured where there are, this is my understanding, and a title search could help to uncover it, but there are a number of what are called like spite strips in the neighborhood, which may or may not block access to this locus, and I'd like this board to ferret that out. The second is a noise study. All right, cutting down trees will impact the neighborhood. All right, it will impact noise. The trees in that lot and on that lot block the sound from Route 28, which you can already at least partially hear approximately 200 linear feet up the road. So it's going to impact the butters. The third is a light study, a photometric analysis. I'd like that thoroughly vetted by the engineers, and I'd like to see the impact of the light. The reason is because the sun does rise and set over that area, and the trees do provide shade. Next, I'd like to reiterate the comments that drainage is a real problem in that area. I'm not sure if this computer works, but if it does, I'd love to pull up the GIS of the area.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Are these the proposed plans?
Brian, do you know if it's private or public?
Broken Bow Lane is a private way.
Yeah.
So is this the curb cut? Are they curb cutting on 28 or are they curb cutting on Broken Bow?
It's around where the fire hydrant is. Is on the right side of the curb cut. Right near the puddle, basically.
That's up here? This is where they
Yeah.
want to do the curb cut?
Yes.
Yeah, you can,
Okay, I'm sorry, is it shown on this plan and I'm not seeing it?
yeah, they'll be on another one, but it's right where you got the cursor.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, and this isn't a puddle, it is a pond, and that's not an exaggeration
Yeah.
when she said it, okay? The catch basin over here, right, this
high.
is right in front of somebody's property. It's the size of, it's smaller than a soccer ball, right? And it gets clogged, and a light rainstorm creates a significant puddle here. A heavy rainstorm does create a pond. I'm talking 1.5 feet to 2 feet
Last,
deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
last time they applied, we saw real pictures of the puddle, and Lindsay brought some in as well. And-
Yeah.
And we all have been there, we've seen it.
Yeah, and they're already part of the record?
Yeah, yeah, and I
And
mean,
you guys
yeah,
did-
that's.
You guys did a site visit then,
Yeah,
as a board?
yeah.
Great.
I was afraid to drive through it, and thought it was going to bottom out like she did.
Yeah, no, you actually worry about
I brought
the
my
mechanics
trunks.
of your car when you have to go through there. And if it happens on a weekday, and you have no choice because you have to go to work, it's like one thing on a Saturday and you can cancel your plans, but, you have to plow through it and, you feel like you're in a boat. So, the other thing to keep in mind, this is why I want to pull up GIS, but I'm not seeing how to close this out. You'll have to forgive me.
There's the road for you, right there. See it?
You mean this, or was
The
it another?
entrance
the
where the
driveway.
puddle is.
Go back.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh, this is where they want to
Yeah,
do the
that's-
curb cut?
That's the road, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
they're gonna move the fire hydrant to the left side, and because it's basically right on the curb, or right on the cut.
Right. And you'll have to forgive me, I was at another meeting this evening, so I had to listen online while I was driving over here, but I just wanted to confirm as well to contextualize my comments that the applicant is presently proceeding as if the town is under safe harbor?
Yes,
That's accurate? Okay.
yes.
Yes,
So then I will make that, I will second a comment that was made this evening regarding the characteristics of this neighborhood. It is all single-family homes. I believe it's approximately 20-plus single-family homes. They're all on a 1/4 of an acre of a lot up and down the way, and that's one of the things that I wanted to show you and talk about. Pull up GIS. All right, right, so here's Homestead, and this is Broken Bow. And you can see these are most of the homes along Broken Bow, and the average size of these lots is just under a quarter of an acre. Now, this is an agriculturally zoned area, right? And a little rusty here, but if memory serves correct, it's 1 acre, but it may even be 2.
I think it's 1.6,
1.6.
Okay.
and I think it said it was about 80.
69,000 square feet.
Yeah. I think it was 80 agricultural and 20 GR, I think.
Yep.
Ballpark.
So there are, wait, sorry, what was that? Can you repeat that?
80% agricultural, 20 GR.
For that particular lot?
Yeah, particular
Oh,
property.
that's interesting. It's a split zone lot?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, the reason why these quarter-acre lots survive zoning is there was a checkerboard pattern structure set up in this neighborhood, okay? So there were 2 trusts that owned every other lot, which is what, allowed them to be built upon. I won't get into too much of the technicalities of whether or not that was legit. Now it would be under the new Affordable Homes Act, but whether or not it was legit at the time that they were built. But the point is the developer that owns the building rights in this neighborhood already got 4x out of the neighborhood. That's 4 times what he should have gotten, all right? If you assume 1 acre zoning, right? He's getting 4 houses. So now on 1.6 acres, he wants to put how many units?
12.
Well,
12.
9 an acre.
Yeah, so that's 1/10 of an acre lots, all right? That's Falmouth Heights, all right? That's not north of 28, and that's not in agricultural zoning. And to that effect, a much more suitable project for the town could be put in this location that addresses the needs of affordable housing and even addresses the needs of workforce housing, right? CPC money can be obtained to put in single-family homes here that provide units at 80 to 160% of the AMI for working families, police officers, members of the fire department, teachers, the backbone of the community on Cape Cod that works every day and can't afford to purchase a home. They could have access to single-family units and attain the fleeting American dream if you encourage the developer to put in a different type of project here that fits the characteristics of the neighborhood. That's it.
All right, may I ask a question?
Yep.
Madam Chair?
Yeah, go ahead.
What is CPC money?
Community
Community
preservation.
Preservation Committee.
Okay.
So they can,
the top part
the
on
town
your
can
property
purchase
tax
deed
bill.
restrictions.
Charge on our tax. I pay that, I just had forgotten what it was.
I put my thumb over it so I don't have to look at
Right on
it.
your taxes, that's right.
What type of housing are you talking about that you would want to see replace this type of housing?
So what I'm saying is if you're going to objectively look at, right, local needs versus the need for affordable housing, whether we're in the context of safe harbor or not, we'll say it's within the context of safe harbor because the applicant is putting forth that assumption for the purpose of this application, right? And you still wanted to help make an impact in the affordable housing world, you could do it in such a way that's both profitable to the developer and beneficial to the neighborhood, or less, I should say, less detrimental on the neighborhood. Because if he did quarter-acre lots on a 1.6-acre lot, that's 6 units. And if you were able to obtain funding from the CPC to purchase deed restrictions, you could have 6 attainable units, right, outside of the 80% of the AMI, for working families.
Right now, we're getting 3 affordable units.
Yeah, versus 6 attainable. You could even do 3 and 3 as single-family homes, and it would match the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want to speak tonight? Do you guys have anything further?
No.
We're continuing this. Sure, come on up and ask, please.
Just about this meeting.
Yeah.
Just about this meeting. I'd like to know when the next one is, so I can be better prepared.
I was just about to tell you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's going to be March 12th, I'll give you a heads up. Anybody want to make a motion?
Madam Chairman, wait a minute.
I was just going to say, we should check with the applicant. Typically, part of this extension period is if they choose to file an appeal based on our assertion of safe harbor. But if they intend on continuing to pursue the application, do they want to agree to peer engineering, which we could potentially,
Arrange first.
yeah, if they're willing.
Get the ball rolling anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. You want to come up and answer that one, Nick, please?
Could you ask the question again, Noreen?
So what we're asking is, if you want to proceed with the application where the town is asserting we're in safe harbor, we would arrange for a peer engineer. If you were looking to appeal this, we would probably wait and arrange a peer engineer later, because obviously it requires funding by the applicant.
Either way, you're gonna have to pay.
Yeah, I guess it's appropriate for me to ask when your hearing is on the safe harbor.
So it would be, you would have to file.
No, I mean on your other hearings, on the two other repeals. to
I
safe harbor.
don't have any timeline.
Yeah, we have no idea.
After that, there's gonna be an appeal, and if that, there's gonna be another appeal. So, I mean, if you agree to the peer engineer now, we can make this thing faster. That's all. And then we can have the stuff in front of us, as opposed to, in the past, we've had delays where the submissions were 2 days beforehand. We didn't get a chance to review it.
Hey, one more thing, if we lost the safe harbor appeal, couldn't the town go to Superior Court and appeal that?
Yes.
There are
Exactly. So it can
further
go on for a long
appeals.
time.
Supposed to be a long time till we get sewer, so. So I guess I don't have an answer tonight as to whether or not we're going to appeal. We'll have to see. And,
All right, so we'll just wait on.
continue it.
Yeah.
So then are we gonna get stuck for time again, waiting for the
No,
peer
we're
engineer?
suspended. It's suspended. So time ends, stops. The clock stops, right? Right?
If there's an appeal.
If he appeals.
If he appeals, correct.
If he doesn't appeal in 180 days.
Clock ticks. Right. Right?
Right? Yeah. So it's up to you for timing. 'cause you-
I say just continue the hearing for another couple of months, and I'll decide within the next week or so what we're going to do as far as appeal goes or not, and I'll let Noreen know, and if we're not going to appeal it, she can assign a peer review to it. And that should give us plenty of time between now and the next meeting.
Late March or April date now.
Yeah, that's what we have. I just suggest you get back to her as soon as possible, because it's going to be a lot of work for the peer to do the
I
stormwater.
understand. It's a lot of work for everyone, especially at times like this, I understand.
Yeah.
I'll get back as soon as I can.
Okay.
So can we put this on for a status review, say, so we'll know what's going on?
Yeah, we could do
That's a good
that.
idea.
Is that all right with you? Put
That'd
it
be
for a
great,
status?
Frank.
Just if we've heard anything.
I can update you
Yeah.
at a
Under
regularly
her-
scheduled hearing. But
All right.
what we would
Yeah,
do
under
is
zoning
continue
administrative
this
updates,
case
we could
to
do
a
it.
date
Okay.
certain. Right.
So the March 12th, is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, just,
Stay tuned.
I always say yes, and then something else.
Yeah. That happened last week, actually. Not with you.
March 12th
not with
looks
you.
fine, yes.
Did I have a motion already?
I'll make a motion.
To March 12th.
Second.
We have a motion by Scott, second by Frank, to continue to March 12th. Everyone's all set up here? All those in favor? Aye, opposed, none. So March 12th, 6 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thanks all for coming. All right, minutes.
December 11 and the 18th are ready for vote.
Ooh, good job. I'll make a motion to accept December, is everyone all set with the minutes, you guys? I'll make a motion to accept December 11 and December 18th of 2025.
Second.
I have a motion by Suzanne, second by Jim. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. We did 2. Board discussion? Everybody's all set? Zoning administrator updates.
So we have 2 recent administrative approvals.
Just one second, Noreen, we can't hear very well. Thanks.
Let Ruth go home.
Can you guys go out
Home.
and talk outside? Can you talk out in the hall?
That guy go on, he was struggling,
Please.
though.
It was continued.
Sorry, I just couldn't hear you well.
Sorry, but I'm deaf.
Administrative approvals, 76 Minot, we approved a platform for battery storage for solar panels. That seems to be the next big thing moving through town. These battery storage for the solar panels will effectively be taking the place of a generator that somebody would have. So the idea is that you're collecting the power from your solar panel.
We can't have the door closed in an open meeting.
Oh, shoot.
Sorry to interrupt. Apologies.
No,
You stay
I
there.
didn't, I was looking at the dates.
Be a man.
Thanks, Richard.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
Good catch.
Okay, so we approved a platform for their battery storage for 76 Minot, and then for 24 Elizabeth Jean, the board issued a special permit for additions and attached garage. They came in for administrative approval for a small infill deck area that would run flush with the front facade of the house.
Noreen, is 76 but not a single-family dwelling? Why do they need
Yes.
battery storage?
So they have,
car?
they have solar panels on their roof.
Oh, for the whole,
What will happen is the solar panels will effectively fill the battery, and then they will use the battery for power.
Okay.
That's where they keep their Christmas light batteries.
Yeah. Noreen, do they have to have the fire department review that? Because these lithium batteries are so difficult to put out, or where they're
I
positioned, or?
don't know. They're stored outside, so, presumptively.
The electrical inspector, I'm sure, would know.
Yeah. But,
Or the gas feed to the house?
they'll all be inspected.
Okay.
And then we are now live with Permitize, so people are able to file with us electronically. We still do require and request paper copies for the board members' use. We're brand new with it being live, so I don't have much to report on that yet. But we're hoping
luck,
that it
guys.
will work
Good
out well.
luck.
And we are also getting a window cut into the hall in front of the zoning board office, and they will be installing a kiosk for the public to use to file their applications electronically.
God bless you.
So changes are underfoot.
Good luck with all that.
Good
To the-
luck.
To the pair of you, good luck. Anyway, so what else? You're good. So future agenda items. Anybody have anything?
January 29th.
Our next meeting will be will it be at 5:30 at the next meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
do say that. Our next meeting will be on January 29th. Executive session at 5:30, regular hearings at 6.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
All those in favor? Aye.
Fast with that hammer.
We had Mark and Jim on.